got shit to do.
This is Angry Joe Show, and we're gonna record for the second fucking time the review of Pacific Rim.
Like 4 o'clock
because
in the morning.
my fucking mic didn't work. I brought my friends. I held them hostage because I paid $18 a ticket for their D-Box experience. So they're gonna fucking review this film because we spent like $72 on it or something like that.
Jesus, yeah.
So,
it's a gunpoint.
okay.
You can't see him, he's holding us at gunpoint.
We just came from Pacific Rim, and we want to give you our first impressions, our first review of the film, real quickly without any spoilers. Don't worry about spoilers, because we're going to save all that shit for the end of the fucking video. And if you're cool enough to stay for the spoilers, then you will get into some geeky discussions with us in the comments. By the way, don't look at the comments, because people are probably spoiling it as we speak. So, let's get to the review. Okay, where do we start in a movie like this? It's a fucking movie about giant robots punching the shit out of kaiju. And there was slow-mo moments like that.
Yeah,
there were long fight scenes. Fucking kaiju grab shit and hit
they were
gators.
like tussling, MMAing robots and monsters. It was pretty crazy.
Like fucking bear hugging bodies.
Come on! Let's do this together!
If you go into this movie with the expectations that you're gonna see robots fighting kaijus and that's gonna be the best part of the movie, you're gonna love the shit out of it.
Oh, for sure.
So, we'll go to Tons of Fun first, which, by the way, Tons of Fun's back! Holy fucking shit! We used to do movie reviews a long time ago. And so tell us a little bit about, did you like the film? Did it entertain you?
I loved the
Did you
film.
hate it?
No, it was highly entertaining. I mean, honestly, who could go into a movie with giant fucking robots fighting monsters and not be satisfied? If you're the kind of person who's not satisfied with that, just turn it off right now. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
No.
All the rest of you people, you're awesome.
You're done.
You'll love this movie.
You're done in Tons of Fun's eyes. So, you were entertained
for sure.
From start to finish.
Alright, thoroughly. I'd go see it right now. It's
And that's what
4
you were
o'clock
saying.
in the morning. Right now!
Let's
go!
again.
More D-Box!
More D-Box!
Yes, so we saw that in D-Box for the
I thought it was great. Oh, and I just thought one of the perfect things, like phrases for it, is this visceral fighting. I thought it was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of detail, just like ripping off
Ripping
plates and
shit
bolts
off.
everywhere. Just wasn't just straight. Just I'm punching him in the face.
Arms
punch
fly
him in the face.
off.
No,
Yes.
just
Tongues
cables
fly off.
hanging out everywhere, just like tearing shit apart. I mean, it's
obviously
amazing.
the fucking fights were amazing, and who can we attribute that to? We all believe it is due to Guillermo del Toro with
sure.
the visual
His visual
design.
vision.
Yeah, so
yes.
talk a
There's
little
no
bit
way
about
you
the
couldn't
visuals.
watch the movie and not see that.
Did you like the visuals? Talk about the
they're
visuals in comparison to,
incredible.
say, Transformers, which is a giant robot movie.
Oh no, everything was incredibly like detailed. It had great visual effects. There was great, different parts of it different parts of the monsters glowing. The robots themselves had a nice artistic design. It was relatable.
Yeah,
they
not
weren't
confusing.
Too over the top. Yeah, you can actually pick out certain features. Everything about it was just really great. It meshed well together, and even just like the CGI itself is integrated very well into the environment. This was actually very believable. You can actually see the monsters just plowing through
CGI
the
is
building,
getting
and
really good.
It actually
guys.
felt like you were there in that fight.
Well, I think that's because we were in the
Yeah, I think it's part of the D-Box too. It's probably right too.
But what about you, Bardo? What did you think about the different Jaegers? Did you like that whole aspect to the movie?
That was my favorite part.
Yeah?
You get that nationalistic thing where you have the different nations. You choose the Jaeger you want.
Right,
The
you want
one
to
that's
support.
the
That's a good
fighter.
point right there.
I mean, yeah, you
Choose
have
one.
the dual pilots, but you get to choose a Jaeger. One to support and stand behind, and they all have their different abilities. You got your Juggernaut.
Which one was your favorite?
Oh, Typhoon, the Russian one.
The Russian one? No, I didn't watch it. The Russian one was cool.
Nah.
There were 3 pilots in the Russian one, and they had the fucking thundercloud.
Wrong one. Wrong nationality.
Crimson. has
Crimson!
three pilots.
That was the Crimson
The
one. That's
Chinese.
the Chinese.
That's
He's
my
talking-
favorite.
He's talking about the brute strength fucking Russians where they just boom, boom, boom,
Mach
motherfuckers.
one.
The tank.
Mach
The tank.
one. Mach one.
First revision, baby.
That thing was out there for
They
a
don't
long
need anything
time,
better.
doing work, and they had the best. I will agree that I think we can all agree that the Russians had the best interior design with the
Yeah,
suits.
that thing was
Oh,
great.
It was all like
It
fucking.
It was like crazy
Splinter Cell looking-
Splinter
yeah.
Cell. Like,
Yeah,
goggles.
and like the red light thing going on.
See, and all of that visual design, we think is due to Guillermo del Toro. He had a stamp. You earlier in the first version of our review, you talked about you could tell the monsters were
Oh,
designed
for sure. The
by-
monsters. As soon as you see the first one, and even from the trailers, you immediately think Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy. Like the visuals are exactly what you're expecting from Guillermo del Toro. You're not disappointed.
It has
everything.
a stamp all over.
Like you said, there's like glowing runes on the monsters, and it just like bits and crazy alien bobs that are glowing and doing things that obviously could never have occurred on Earth.
You get your money's worth. We all thought it was entertaining as fuck, especially the fights. There were some long fights.
yes.
There were some epic fights, just fucking dragging fucking ships and knocking people in the face with the ships. So that was what was well done. Everything that we think that Guillermo del Toro had direct control over.
Yeah.
However, it wasn't all honky-dory, okay? There
No,
was
it
some
was
things
not.
in it that started to drag the film down a little bit. And we think it was
action role play, alright?
Okay, so here's
That's
this
my
argument.
live action
Me and
anime,
Alberto have an
man.
argument. So I'm saying that the writing, the dialogue, the story, it's ridiculous. It's over the top. It is fucking has so many cliches. I was counting the cliches. It's just ridiculous. And there are so many stereotypes in this movie. It's just beyond anything. And Berto countered that with
It reminds me of Dragon Ball Z. It reminds me of Bleach. It reminds me of Pokemon.
Evangelion.
Yeah. All those generalistic characters that you have that are.
Choose your
They have this over-the-top doctor. They have this, antagonist
And-
hotshot. They
yeah.
have this, main character. They have this silent, strong type, the struggler. They have the protector.
the asshole who is an asshole to the protagonist for no fucking reason because
Yeah.
the protagonist shows up and it's like, no, I'm hot shit, So he was saying that that's the purpose. They did that on
supposed to be
purpose
an anime.
because it is an anime. It takes a lot of stuff from Japanese culture and mangas and stuff like that. And then I thought about it like that. And I said, you know what? Maybe that was intentional. Maybe they were going
It's
over
a
the top.
robot
I mean,
movie.
it's
Of course
robots
it's
and
intentional.
giant monsters fighting.
just
It almost
on land, in space, in the water.
Wrecking cities.
yes, you get your money's worth. There's fighting in space, fighting on land, fighting
Fighting
underwater,
underwater,
fighting in the
everywhere.
fucking rain. Now I saw this movie twice. The first experience was ruined because of 3D. They had like rain in your face the whole fucking time. I couldn't see shit.
Oh,
There was
you don't
no
like rain in your
detail.
face?
No, I don't like rain
I
in my
want
face.
I want nothing but rain. Actually, I just want to go to a movie where it's just raining
Rain
on
in
my
my
face the whole time.
face.
The whole time rain.
Give me the
Love
snowflakes.
it.
So I didn't like the movie so much the first time around because I wasn't invested. I couldn't see what was going on, so I was like,
Yeah.
I can't get
I
into
can
this.
imagine.
But when that was gone and you just see it in 2D, I was like loving the visuals. I was picking out things that I didn't see before, and the monsters were clear and the fights were so much better. So yes, A fucking plus to the visual design, but the story, man, there were so many fucking cliches in this film. The doctors.
You had expectations. You had expectations.
No, back me up here. Back me up.
The doctor.
Go in with no
Back me up.
expectations. It's a monster movie.
The most
It was worse
nerdy,
than that.
the most nerdy fucking guy sitting on the board. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm figuring out all the equations. There's gonna be another one coming! Yay!"
He was so
Like, come
over the
on,
top.
really? Are you really doing math equations like that?
Yeah.
Come on.
Apparently, I'll be
He was a
physicist.
They were the
Oh,
two
jeez.
scientists in the film were like characters of characters.
Yes,
they were
they
so
were.
over the top. They talk really fast, like I'm doing right now. Oh my god, there's a fucking double event is happening.
The most socially awkward you can even think of. Like,
Yeah, he was
you
like, yeah,
kidding
all right,
me?
man, give me, and the dude was like,
But I know plenty of
You
smart
don't- you
people
don't
that
know
are
how to-
socially awkward.
I know. So he's saying no. That
No, but there's your normal
There's a
socially
certain
awkward
point.
person, and then there's just way beyond. Like you're just gone.
There's
you
a
know?
certain point
Right.
where the stereotypes start to take over the movie. Like, it makes sense in Robot Jocks. And props to all of you out there who know what the fuck Robot Jocks is. We've seen Robot Jocks before, but there was a reason why the pilots hated each other, because they were from different countries and they were fighting over land and they fucking hated each other. But here, when a new Jaeger shows up and the like hotshot's like, fuck this guy needs to leave. It's like, dude, you have 4 fucking Jaegers left and you want this guy to leave, so you have 3 left from 30? Guys,
And he was an experienced veteran on top of it.
there was no reason for there to
You've been out of the game for 5 years. Sorry, man.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. On top of that, pretty much like that was kind of the small piece of pretty much the only cliche the hotshot didn't do was this town's not big enough for the 2 of us, cowboy. That's the only thing he didn't do. Everything else, he hit all the cliches of the little hotshot, celebrity guy that can't handle a rifle.
It was so over the top, and so that brought down the movie in my sense. The stuff in between the badass fighting needed a little bit of help, but I gotta say, and the acting, there was average acting all around. There were 2 actors in this movie that I really bought and I thought made the film. One was Idris. This guy is a fucking badass. He was the marshal in the movie, the leader of the Jaeger program. He just kicks so much fucking ass.
I do not need your sympathy or your admiration. All I need is your compliance and your fighting skills. And if I can't get that, then you can go back to the wall that I found you crawling on. Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir. Good.
I don't know where he's from, but I want to see him in more shit.
I agree with that.
Have you seen him in anything?
In other movies? Yeah. I mean, I can't think of him off the top of my head, but
Yeah,
I definitely
I-
recognize
yeah.
him as a good actor.
He needs to be in more shit immediately. And then Ron Perlman. How can you not like Ron Perlman? You didn't like Ron Perlman?
No, I love
Oh
Ron
my
Perlman,
God.
man. But
Ron
come on, his
Perlman's great.
character. You're complaining about character. You're complaining about overtop scientists, and you don't complain about the most overtop character in the whole movie.
Hey, not me, man.
Seriously,
I agree. His character
Like,
was totally out
I
there
could have
too,
done
man.
without him completely.
No,
It was
don't you say
completely
that.
unnecessary. I once did
badass
something.
shoes.
Those shoes.
I wanted the
They couldn't just go with snakeskin. No, it had to be like some sort of clanky
They're
metal bullshit.
Bladed snakeskin looking boots.
Yeah.
That's punishable by death. Talking shit about Ron Perlman.
Hey,
be
oh,
careful! I'll
man.
cut your nostril.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them. He was awesome in the movie. So, all right. So that was sort of the acting. We felt that all around the acting was solid. There wasn't anybody that really sort of dropped the ball on acting, was there? Did you guys think there was anybody drop the
No,
ball?
I don't think there's anyone that detracted from.
But
I mean, I think the dog probably could have given a better performance.
Yeah.
So much yapping.
Yeah.
It's just, oh.
Yeah, he didn't really contribute in
No.
the kaiju fights. You
No.
know,
It seemed like
he
he
didn't
cared
run
for
out
the
there and
owner.
bite.
Dude, I would have loved to seen a dog robot, like 2 dogs that have worked together to take down a monster. That would
The
be
hot
fun.
shot
That would be
owns
dumb,
a
but-
pit bull, and he's always petting it and shit.
English
But
bulldog.
what weighed the
English
movie
bulldog,
down?
yeah.
What weighed the movie down was some of the dialogue situations. For example, they tried to get across some emotion. This movie, surprisingly, wasn't so much about the robot fights as it was about personal reflection, personal loss, because at the beginning of the movie, it's not really a spoiler, something happens that's traumatic to our main character, Charlie, where he loses somebody close to him, and that affects him throughout the rest of the movie. He goes on this soul-searching, he's like mopey little bitch, he doesn't want to be a Jaeger pilot anymore, and he's building this fucking wall or something like that, exactly. But then you know,
Kinda
the
reminds me
general
of-
comes back and says, "We need you again," and he's like, "All right," and then he
Gives
just
him
comes
a
back.
nice kick in the ass.
Gives him a
Get
kick in the
back
ass.
In the game.
But the main character that I have a problem with is Miko. Not because she wasn't badass. All of these guys
Oh,
love
yeah.
Miko.
She was awesome.
They'll tell you right now that they
agree.
loved her character.
yeah.
But I think that they were trying to make Miko a badass. They were trying to make her a strong female lead, and that didn't come through in this film because of the whole dual pilot thing. You could tell that she was the one that was like kicking ass in the Jaeger because, you know, then she gets tired and you know, Charlie's like, don't worry about it, you know, I can take it from here, whatever, and stuff like that. But it never really came through in the film that she was the strong one doing all the badass work, and Charlie was, you know, a good pilot, but not as good as she was. It never really came through because it was almost as if they were trying to protect her the whole time, and they were like, "Are you okay?" And it's like, you know, I was hoping for a strong female lead instead of Charlie. I think that if the writers focused more on Miko and her backstory with the general instead of Charlie's take on it, I think it would have been a little bit better movie.
but aren't the most powerful characters in all animes looking a little weak when they're struggling and giving it their all, you know?
I see what you're
saying.
I think the screenwriter, you know, whoever originally wrote the script, they were building up to this badass female strong lead, and then they just kind of tapered off.
And that's not her fault. It's not her fault.
No, it's not the
Once
actor's
you
fault.
explain
They
the
just kinda let it go.
the dual piloting to me when we were talking about it, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
If it had been a single pilot, single robot,
Yeah.
it's true.
That's what I want. I told
you would
Berto.
have found it. You would have seen it in
You would have
her
seen
fighting.
it. She was the one like
She would have
fucking
been
doing the work and
destroying,
kicking ass.
and then you would have had her supporting man over there. Hey, I'll save you.
Saving her, and then
Yeah.
she saves him and stuff like that. That's why I didn't like the dual pilot idea with the mind melding. What the fuck was that? The what
Drift.
were they called?
We
The
must
drifting.
drifting.
Come on.
Oh, I'm
What
sorry.
they call it the
Drifting.
No,
Neural
come,
hand-
come drift with me. I can't
You
do it
want a
alone.
neural
Give me a
handshake?
neural
Neural
handshake.
handshake.
Hey, we should neural handshake and drift at the
Okay,
same
let's
time.
neural handshake.
Oh, I can't do it alone.
All right, enough with the orgy.
Bucks.
It's done. It's done. So I thought that part of the movie was kind of ridiculous. Didn't hold up under scrutiny, but I get what they were trying to do with it, and it does play perfectly into the idea of a manga or a comic book or an anime.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially in some of the flashback scenes, which we'll save for you in the spoilers discussion. But we've talked about visual design. We've talked about the badass fight scenes. Those things are worth going to see the movie over alone.
Easy.
Even before I tell you the final verdict. Okay, but there is weak writing. It's over the top, but you knew that. You knew it was over the top. But there are so many cliches and stereotypes. They could have reeled some of those in, and I think it would have made a stronger movie and made the lead female role more strong. It would have made a better movie. So we're gonna go into our final. Go ahead.
Do you want more dialogue and less action fighting? Do you want to have them spend
Yes.
more time going?
I don't want more
Oh,
dialogue.
hey, let's go eat at the barbecue place. and have some drinks."
Right, Korean barbecue or
I
something
need
like
some-
that.
I need a little
Korean
bit of tea, or meet my
Or Texas
father,
barbecue,
you know.
whatever. I love Korean
I mean,
barbecue.
we came.
I think
for
you
the
wanted more
action. We came for the robots
Okay.
fighting
Yeah.
monsters.
That's why you're going.
Okay. Well, no, that's why you guys should go, because it delivers on that part, so don't even worry about all that other stuff. But we have to mention it to you as critiquing the film, because
It's true.
I wasn't asking for more dialogue. I was saying replace some of this dialogue with stronger backstory, stronger lines, screenplay, and stuff like that. But let's go around and let's do sort of final thoughts on the movie, whether you should go or not, what worked, what didn't work, and give it a final verdict out of 10. So who wants to go first? I want to go first? Hell no, man! This is my show! I go last!
I got it.
All right.
All right.
Judas.
So I thought that the fights were incredible. The visuals are incredible. You can definitely see Guillermo's vision in there. Everything about it was great. I personally, kind of like a little bit more.
Not everything. Not everything about it was great.
Well, not every. Well, that's kind of what I'm getting.
I'm interrupting.
Everything that I was talking about just now. Anyways, that stuff was great. But I personally like stuff that has a little bit more depth to it, more explanation to the characters, maybe a little bit more depth to the storyline and everything. Which is why I can't give it a straight 9 or 10. But it's definitely worth seeing. You gotta see it. It's definitely above average. I mean, it is an amazing fight scenes. Everything about it is great.
No decimals. No decimals. Don't wuss out here. There's no wusses here. Don't do
There
decimals.
is no
man.
wusses here. Is
And
anybody
five-
a wuss? I'm not one. I know that.
I know one.
I'm not one.
Right.
I get that.
How
Five out of
dare
10.
you?
I'm just telling him my rating system. 5 out of 10 is average. So
I know. I give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
7 out of
All
10.
right.
We have we're starting at 7. Okay. Berto?
Basically everything he said, he covered it all. He did cover it all, and I would have to agree with him. I do like movies with plots and more dialogue, but again, you're gonna watch a 2.5-hour movie about robots and monsters. With that in mind, I'll give it an 8.
8 out of 10.
All
So
right,
one
all
above
right,
you,
all right,
one above
all
you.
right.
Chris?
Respect.
All right, as they've said, I mean, I don't know how many times we can repeat it. You're going to this movie for the fucking robots. You're just, they're beating up
Can't
monsters.
stand that excuse though. Everybody said that to me on Twitter.
Listen, who's giving their opinion right now? That's right, that's me. Tons of fun talking right now. What I'm saying is this. You're going there for the monsters, but even with all the negatives, the other things come together to support the framework of these robots going out and defending our world and fighting these crazy,
It rises
badass
above
looking
it.
monsters. And it rises above just a robot movie.
Okay.
There are negatives. There's always going to be negatives to everything, and you're going to find your own reasons not to like it. We've stated some of our own. But
Wait for the spoilers.
Wait for the spoilers. I really enjoyed it. It was highly entertaining. I would do it again. I didn't think I would. I love the D-Box experience for this particular situation. Robots and...
Yeah, it's a gimmick, but for this, I agree.
Oh, yeah. And so I'm going to have to say, I'm going to give it a solid 8.
All right.
Definitely an 8.
Another 8, 7, 8, 8. All right, so my final thoughts. You're not... What I'm really astounded and what I like so much about this is I gotta give a lot of respect and love to Del Toro for actually taking a chance and bringing something like this to the big screen. Now, audiences really haven't seen something like this. This is something completely new and unique. Giant robots, yeah, there were Godzillas, but that's a little bit different because they didn't really have the giant robots. Yeah, there was Power Rangers and stuff like that, but a lot of people dismissed that. It wasn't mainstream. There was Robot Jocks, but that was 1990, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So it's bringing it back, and I hope that it sort of starts to, I like these types of unique films. It's something we haven't seen on film before, so he earns massive props for that. The visual design, the robots. I wanted more. I really wanted more. I thought it was great. I thought it was an awesome world to be in. Now, I didn't like all the stereotypes and the cliches. I think they could have done with that. And if they were going to take a serious tone, which the movie does take a serious tone, it has some ridiculous jokes that we're going to talk about in the spoiler section. But I think overall it was a serious movie. So they should have started to, tailor back some of these cliches and stereotypes to make it more serious. But like Chris was saying, it rises above that. The result, the end result is the sum is greater than its parts, right? And that's why I came to the movie, to see fucking robots throw down with kaijus, and you get that in fucking hella amounts.
Yeah.
And you get it really well done too. So for that, for fucking unloading a full clip on these kaijus, I'm gonna go ahead. I want to, and Berto was saying that this whole anime, and that kind of really changed my view when he said that, with the mangas, the anime, and that whole feel, comic book feel to it. I was like, yeah, that's why some of these flashback scenes kind of were hokey, but I could just totally see them freeze frame it, and like I'm reading it, and so that made a whole lot more sense. So I wanted to give it a 9 out of 10 after that, but then when I sit down after second viewing and seeing it again, I said I'm ending up at an 8 out of 10, okay? I'm not giving it a 9, but I will give it a badass seal of approval. That means you need to get up out of your chair and see this thing on the big screen. This is a giant robot movie. Don't fucking see this on a tiny ass screen at your house. Go to the movie
Biggest screen in town. If you got some D-Box.
Not 3D!
Fuck 3D.
Fuck 3D.
Unless you want rain all over your face.
Unless you want rain on your fucking face.
You just want nothing but rain.
It's constant rain in your face for the stupid 3D effect. But the D-Box experience, it's a fucking gimmick, but if there's one movie that you go and see it, Pacific Rim. So, 8 out of 10 for me. That's it for the review. We saved so much for the spoiler section. For those cool enough who wants to fucking see the spoilers, or if you've seen the movie already, stay tuned. We're gonna talk some more about all the fucking reasons why we didn't give it. I can just hear them now. This is bullshit! You should give it a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10.
Best movie ever!
Best movie ever, but there are reasons why we didn't go that high, and they will be in the spoiler section. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't seen the movie yet, go see it. So until then, I'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. And welcome to the spoiler section. You're a badass for fucking staying.
I need water.
And he needs water. And we're gonna fucking do the spoiler section right now, which we already pre-recorded, so we're gonna cut to it right now.